Thank you so much. Really excited to be talking with USC Rossier students today, more about opportunities with Ednovate. Really excited just to tell you what we've got going on for next school year. We're still looking for teachers. So yeah, just to bring you in, we are a organization who works here in Southern California to bring a high quality college prep education to about 2,000 high school scholars now. We were actually founded in 2012 in partnership with USC Rossier School of Education. So our first school, USC Hybrid High, really just changed kind of the educational landscape for South LA, and we've expanded that model ever since. So today I'll just be giving a general overview of Ednovate, as well as telling you about opportunities we have for careers for next school year. Great, that next slide is perfect actually. Just diving into our mission a little bit, the general purpose behind Ednovate is to use our college degrees and careers to make positive multi-generational change. So it's this idea that we not only want to give students a greater sense of like passion and purpose during their academic years, but we also want to inspire them to take everything they've learned, to take that college degree, come back into our communities and actually elicit real change. So we have a lot of different kind of innovative and strategic ways that we tackle that, but that's the general mission of everything that we do. And really what makes Ednovate different maybe from other public schools or charter schools within Los Angeles is we really focus on like a very innovative, personalized learning model. So our teachers are really customizing the process in their classrooms to make sure that they meet every student where they're at, and they have not only the academic skills, but also the personal skills to be able to make that change in their community, nation, or world. So to go to the next slide, this just gives you kind of an idea of the communities that we currently serve. So we're currently in, if we go back to slide 3, actually. Great. We are currently at 5 schools throughout like Los Angeles and Orange County. So we have USC Hybrid High, which is literally right across the street almost from USC's campus. There on Vermont. We also have East College Prep and Esperanza College Prep that are kind of in the Los Angeles, like East LA area. Brio College Prep is located downtown. And then we have Legacy College Prep in Santa Ana. The schools that we build are primarily small. So usually our enrollment is like 500 students or less. So our class sizes look really small as well, which is great. Moving on to talk more about our academic model, you can go to the next slide. Again, we really use like personalization, purpose, and community to make an academic model that really takes a whole child approach. So again, with the personalization, we focus on like customizing our academics to meet each student's needs. We do not use like a canned curriculum at all at Ednovate, so our teachers are definitely really focused on making sure that the academics meet students where they're at. Again, we really try to push that purpose model. So giving students like this deeper purpose and greater meaning to the work that they do and trying to discover themselves. And through creating like communities both at school and then locally and hopefully nationally as well, we're encouraging students to be able to take what they've learned and actually apply it to future generations as well. So that's kind of an idea of our academic model. Next slide. To take a little bit deeper of a dive into like how we customize, we're still just like any other high school. So we are still providing like A through G courses. Students still have a regular school day. We do use a really high tech like model during class. So all of our students do have Chromebooks and they kind of are able to work at their own pace on computers. So this like digital turnover during like COVID-19 was actually a lot easier for Ednovate since we were already at one-to-one technology and students were really comfortable in online modules. Students have a little bit more flexibility in terms of like their time. they are able to spend the amount of time that they need on certain lessons, and teachers are able to kind of control interventions based on where students need more support. And what's great about using online modules is teachers are able to really respond to this data in real time. So they're getting a chance to see which students are moving faster through the module, see which students are moving slower. So they're able to get an idea of how can I continue to customize this learning for my scholars. And as far as like what online, like kind of things that people use, Canvas is our like most used online platform that teachers design curriculum on, but they also use Google Classroom and others. So you'll see in that kind of grid on the bottom a little bit about just like the coursework that is generally included in an Ednovate space. But just to continue, again with that purpose piece, we really want to have all students be able to answer by their senior year, how do I intend to use my college degree and career to make PMC in my family, community, nation, or world? So we kind of chunk that out throughout their high school career so they're able to really answer that when they're seniors. So in 9th grade, we focus on know yourself. In 10th grade, it's know your community. 11th grade, know your nation. And then 12th grade, know your world. And this is really all an attempt to make sure that our scholars, again, are thinking of that deeper meaning and developing that greater sense of purpose. So they're not just told like, hey, you need to go to college for the sake of going to college, but you need to go to college because not only is this going to improve your life, but this is going to improve the lives of other people around you if you're able to really utilize this college degree and skills. Mostly during our advisory period, we focus on those terms, so students do get some time during the school day to focus on each one of those concepts per year. Moving on to the next slide. Finally, I'll just talk about like community. We're really big on like positive team building and building healthy relationships at Ednovate. All of our staff are completely committed to making sure that students are successful in the long term. So we really emphasize as like an organization the values listed here. So like entrepreneurship, mastery, integrity, and joy. Those are basically the things that I would use to describe your average Ednovate candidate or your teacher coming into our network. Definitely has those 4 factors. And they use that time in the class to also get those things out of our students too. So moving on to the next slide, just a little bit about our results. So what we're doing is working. We're really proud to say that we've had an incredible growth in terms of ACT results since we've been open. We use the ACT as our academic benchmark, so consistently our students are ranking above LAUSD and other charters within Los Angeles. And even more importantly than the academic piece, we have a really high like parent and student satisfaction rate. Like 96% of our parents and students believe that staff care and have high expectations for them, which is huge. Our students are really bought into what we're doing at our schools. We had 3,200 student applications for only 600 spots for this upcoming school year. So definitely there's a lot of kiddos at our doors like wanting this experience and wanting to be in our schools. And we're proud that we're able to measure up to that demand for a high quality education here. So yeah, finally, going to the next slide, just wanted to talk a little bit about kind of like who we're looking for and if this speaks to you guys at all. So Ednovate, of course, is high schools only. So I am looking for potential teachers with like single subject credentials in math, science, English, social studies, and SPED. I currently do have openings on all of our campuses throughout the network. So whether you're geographically wanting to work in Los Angeles, or if you have a certain area of Los Angeles, like East LA, I want to work in downtown, I want to work at USC Hybrid High, please talk to me. We can clarify exactly what openings I have on specific campuses at this point. And in general, like your ideal Ednovate candidate, I'm really looking for someone who is just crazy passionate about creating that positive multi-generational change, that wants to continue to have an impact on students beyond college by giving them that greater sense of passion and purpose. So if you are interested, if you go to the next slide, and we'll leave this one up just as people get in the chat, but this is my information. So if you send me an email, like maldridge@ednovate.org, more than happy to engage with you more about opportunities for next school year. But also go ahead and put your application in at ednovate.org/careers. We are looking to hire again for teaching positions for next school year, which are filling up really fast. So definitely within the next week or so, would encourage you to go on the website, see what open roles we have available and if they match up to your interests and your credential or needs, and go ahead and put that out there. And super happy to talk to you guys more personally about this. So I just wanted to open it up now. I've talked for a long time for a Q&A, so I'll get in that chat and just see if anyone has any questions.
Hi, Melanie. I got a quick question. So how does induction work to clear your credential? Do you guys?
How does induction work to clear your credential?
Yes.
Yeah, we don't like work with any specific like induction program at Ednovate. The grand majority of our teachers are coming in with clear credentials. But we do have a credentialing expert within Ednovate that'll look at the qualifications that you have if you don't have a clear credential yet, or if you're still working on it, and see how we can find a pathway to getting you in that classroom. So we provide kind of like light supports there, but again, mostly looking for people who are currently holding a single subject credential already. And I think I saw someone ask a question in the chat as well. Okay, I have one from Michael. I'll start with that. It says, do you have any type of ESL program on any of the campuses? For now, no. We don't have any specific ESL programs on any of our campuses. I know some of our teachers have been trained for like ESL or to provide English as a second language services, but we don't have a specific program on any of our campuses as of this point. And then I have another question from Kayla. She says, how does PD look like for new teachers versus experienced teachers? Good question. So in terms of how that looks, all of our teachers will enter something called Strong Start Institute at the beginning of our school year, which for us is a lot sooner than LAUSD. Or other schools in LA. First day back for us is July 15th. Even if we are starting that virtually, that's when our Strong Start Institute begins. So that's 3 days of all Ednovate professional development when we are with all 200 plus staff members, learning more about our network, what we do and our kind of mission and goals. And then what happens next is you'll go into school-specific professional development. So that's like 3 weeks before the school year actually begins of school-specific training on your curriculum, team building, all the things basically you need to get prepared for the next school year. And then on an ongoing basis, all of our teachers do only a half day with students on Fridays, so students are released early. The other half the day on Fridays is all professional development. And then quarterly, on a quarterly basis, we take a day off of school and just meet with teachers to dive through data, and you get professional development there as well. So it's actually pretty much the same for both new and ongoing teachers. We don't believe the PD train ever stops, but we do provide a lot of supports there, and we expect our teachers to grow as professionals and as people too. One more question in the chat. Leonard is asking, what other activities like sports or drama do the schools offer? Oh, wow. a lot. We are huge into sports still, particularly USC Hybrid High is a huge sports school. We actually use USC's facilities and Exposition Park for our athletics department there. All of our schools offer some degree of sports. Hybrid, since it's been around the longest, offers like football, basketball, softball, swimming, track and field. But all of our schools usually offer at least 2 to 3 sports for both boys and girls. In terms of the arts, each school does have a arts program, but it does differ. So it can range from like visual art. Esperanza College Prep in East LA has like a nationally recognized ballet folklorico program. So it looks a little bit different from campus to campus, but all schools do have some type of arts program, whether it's visual arts, performing arts, theater, dance, etc. Don't see any more questions in the chat. Feel free to type in there, but also if you want to like chime in and just speak, you can. Any other questions about Ednovate, about our schools?
So I had a question about, this might be just specific to me, but if you have any social studies positions left at any of the high schools in like the downtown area.
Great question. Sorry, what was your name?
Michael?
Hi, Michael. I don't have a social studies position downtown, but I do have one at our new campus that's opening up, South LA College Prep. So we're launching a 6th school. It's just a 9th grade founding position, since South LA College Prep will just launch as a 9th grade class. And for 9th grade, we do something really different at Ednovate with social studies. So either we give our 9th grade teachers the options to teach humanities or sociology. So it's really kind of like a deep dive into like very much a cultural and social justice look at current events, as opposed to your like typical history class. It's like one of my favorite courses I've seen taught at a high school. So that is the only social studies position I have is in South LA. If you're interested though, super encourage you to still go, well, first, Michael, apply to ednovate.org/career so I have your resume on file, but also email me.
Yes.
What's listed on the screen right now so we can follow up and would love to talk to you more about it. If I do have any social studies positions that do open up in downtown LA, that would be Brio College Prep, that campus like literally right in the heart of downtown. Would be more than happy to loop you in there. But for now, I don't have an opening there in social studies.
Okay. Yeah, I did want to talk to you more, but I don't want to like take up everyone's time because I have experience teaching a humanities class for 9th grade. So, but I don't know if you would want to talk about that here, like through email or whatever.
Yeah, definitely hit me up via email and we can talk even later on today. But yeah, definitely send me an email, we can talk more.
After the meeting, we can keep the Zoom meeting going and you can have your chat after this if that helps.
Okay. Yeah, because I already applied yesterday, so I just wanted to kind of touch base with you. Yeah.
Oh, perfect. So glad your application is on file. Awesome. Yeah, so we can definitely chat at the conclusion of this. Don't mind at all. And then, oops, sorry, there's some more folks in the chat. Raquel Sanchez asked, for the college counselor position, which LA location is this open for? Yeah, so I actually have 2 college counselor positions open right now if anyone is interested on the non-teaching end. One is at Esperanza College Prep, which is in East LA. And the other one is at Brio College Prep in downtown. Super encourage you to apply for those pools. This particular college counseling position does not require a credential or any specific like range of experience even, rather than having a true passion about making sure that like equity gap for kids who usually don't get access to college opportunities is filled. So super happy, Raquel, to like see you apply for that if you're interested. But yeah, 2 open positions for college counselor, East LA, Esperanza College Prep, and then downtown at Brio College Prep. And then I also see from Leonard, is asking, what are the openings at USC Hybrid High? I have 4 open teaching positions at USC Hybrid High. I have an English teaching position, special education, math, and PE. So I have all 4 of those roles open for next school year. If you're interested, again, put in your application, but also follow up with me via email and you could specify which one. But yeah, English, SPED, math, PE, and I can talk to you more personally about like what grade level and give you more context there. There's also another one. Rebecca asks, are all students in the same classes with differentiated work? Or are there different levels of the same course, like AP honors, etc.? Both. So there are students in the same classes like who are doing different work. We use what's called like kind of like an Olympic range in terms of how far students are going through a class. So some students might be on bronze one day, you might have other students succeeding to silver, gold, and then platinum is always your performance task. So I would say it's more self-paced than differentiated work. It's the same work, it's just people are working at different paces. But there are also different levels of the same courses. So Ednovate does offer AP classes. Each school is at like a different place in terms of what AP courses that they offer. But we do use AP in terms of like students who are advanced and want that opportunity. Any?
Hi, Melanie. I have a quick question.
Hi. Yeah.
Hi, hello. I've never heard of a message like the positive multi-generational change. It's the first time I've heard that type of message before that any like school district like stands by. So I'm really intrigued by it, first of all. And my question for you is, I know you described the know yourself, know your community, know your world, know your nation. How does that look like as students navigate through all 4 years? So is there reinforcement for that in English, social studies? Like, is there that collaborative spirit where all those themes are touched upon for students? Maybe you could speak a little bit more on that. That was really intriguing for me.
Yeah, absolutely. I would say it's definitely like really interweaved between all of the academic work that we do, particularly in students' performance tasks. When I think about like social studies even, this last quarter, the performance task for 9th grade social studies was for students to run their own political campaign for the upcoming California primary. So they were asked, hey, let's get this chance to take everything that we've learned in like humanities and be able to now apply it to like a real life current event. And so many students like learned so much about themselves and how they would market themselves, what issues are important to them. So definitely that idea of like knowing yourself, knowing your nation, knowing your community, and know your world really kind of takes on this new effect, I would say, in every subject of school. But I'm glad you're pumped up by PMC. That's what we call it for short, because positive multi-generational change is like way too hard to say. And Ednovate is already hard to say. It's too much. So I'm glad that you're interested, and I'm glad that it's something that intrigues you. What is your name, and then what subject would you like to teach for next school year?
My name's Antonio, and also a social studies track as well.
Sweet. Yes.
Thank you.
I also majored in history, but could tell you all about a career in HR. But before I taught, I did teach history prior to recruiting, so I'm a little bit biased, but awesome. Thank you so much. I hope that you apply and email me too. I'm seeing some more folks pop up in the chat, so I want to get to those and still be timely. Kayla is asking, how is the parent involvement at Ednovate schools? All of our parents want those kiddos to be there. Going through the lottery process, our student admission process is a lottery. It's like not by default. You have to put in the effort to apply. You have to have that parental support most of the time. So parents are really, really committed to our students and families. We have an entire family engagement team who helps make sure that our families are included in our school activities, who are really committed to making sure their students are successful. So I would say a high level, until maybe senior year, in which parents are like, all right, get out of my house. And then, Kayla, you're also asking, are there leadership opportunities for teachers? Yes, absolutely. Ednovate has done a lot of work within, I would say, the last year or so, developing opportunities for teachers to not only become master teachers, but also pathways into school leadership as well. We opened up our principal resident program for this year. It's actually posted too on ednovate.org/careers if you're interested. That gives teachers or people in education the opportunity to like learn more and grow more through pursuing school leadership. So I would say at a network-wide level, we're really pushing for our teachers to become leaders, and there's definitely opportunities for that type of expansion. Great. And then Rebecca also asked, how many teachers are in each department at an Ednovate school? 4 teachers per department, 1 per grade level. Again, all Ednovate schools cap at a 500 enrollment. So you're looking at a potential caseload of about 125 scholars overall. You break that down into like 6 periods or so. It's a much smaller metric as far as class sizes than you would see at a normal public or even some charter schools. But yeah, usually 4 teachers per department, and usually one of them is taking a grade level or a specific subject. Yes. Anyone else either in the chat or want to speak more? Okay, I have one from Christine. Christine is asking, can you speak more about the online modules that you implement? Yeah, so just again, to speak about how they do online modules, our teachers are using an online interface, I would say about 85% of the time to teach their lessons. Again, Canvas is like the main online platform that our teachers use, even though there are others. And the whole idea behind those online modules is for it to be self-paced, for students to be able to chunk the material based on their needs, and for teachers to be providing interventions based on that. If you want like a really great visual, Christine, for like how this looks like, if you go on ednovate.org, and if you go to our careers page there's a link about teaching at Ednovate. And it'll literally show you a picture of like, here's what a teacher looks like in an Ednovate classroom in real time and what students usually do. So it'll show you how students are kind of engaging with online modules while a teacher is teaching. We also have a really high use of flexible learning space too. So you'll see like students working on online modules inside of classrooms, outside of classrooms. Again, there's just a lot of flexibility there. If you're still curious and want to learn more about specifically how our teachers measure up to working with like online curriculum, definitely would reach out, or you can reach out to me, and then I'll connect you to any of our grade level leads or a chief academic officer as well, who's kind of in charge of all of our online instruction, to tell you more. Yay, thank you. Any other questions from anyone in the chat or who just wants to speak out?
Melanie, I have a question. What is the process of the application timeline look like? Like once, like for example, I think Michael said he applied. Once that like the application is received, what would be the process for moving forward? And even like, can you speak a little bit more about what type of lesson maybe one would have to teach? And if that's something that during the hiring process is done as well, like a sample teaching lesson in front of.
Yeah, so I'll tell you a little bit about our hiring process, which of course is all virtual because of the current times that we're in. So first step, apply. Second step is your resume gets reviewed either by myself or principals. I usually do the initial screening. So I am like the sole recruiter. So I'm usually the first one kind of on the ground looking at who's coming in through the pipelines. I send kind of like the top quality resumes or folks who I feel strongly about off to principals. who also review those. And then we make like a common link of people who we want to get on the phone. 2 interviews for Ednovate. 1 phone call, again, usually with me or a principal directly. Second final interview is a 90-minute via Google Hangout, like video call. If that person has like strong candidate materials coming in, so if you already have like some sample lesson plans that are really strong, if you maybe have a teaching demo of yourself or a video of you teaching that you maybe had to submit through your EdTPA or some other thing that you can send us in advance, great. That 90-minute conversation is just a conversation. If we feel like we really need to see more or feel like we want to see more from a lesson from you, we might ask you to do a demo within that 90-minute final interview. Just kind of depends on where we're at with the candidate, what type of experiences, etc. We're making offers now for our open positions, which all start in July of 2020. So we're looking to kind of rein in who we're going to hire for next school year. We love people from USC. We love Trojans, of course, since our schools have all your guys' names on them in some way, shape, or form, and we have a really close relationship with Razier. So super, super happy to get Trojan applications in the pool. I would say sooner rather than later would be the time to act as far as the application process. I would say at minimum, it usually takes about 3 weeks to go through that entire process. So I would go ahead and start moving soon, especially if you're trying to kind of get solidified for where you want to be for next school year. But yeah, let me know if there's any other questions about application process that anyone else has, or anything else about Ednovate in general.
So I had more questions about the 9th grade humanities class. I don't know if you wanted to do that now or like later.
Yeah, let me first see if there's anyone else who has anything else. I'll like hold it like 30 more seconds. And then, Nari, I think I'm probably good to end here.
Sure.
Melanie, can I ask you one last question as well? How many references are you looking for in the application, and are you looking for a certain time frame, like for example 2 years, 3 years of like work, like a work experience or internship experience to provide for those references? What's the ideal for candidates?
Yeah, as far as references go, I would say at minimum 3. Typically our principals will ask between 5 and 7. At least 2 of those references must be people who have been in like a supervisory position of you before. That could be a professor, but former principals, managers, people who have really had a chance to see your work ethic and experience would be what we need there. Part of the application will ask you to input some references, but again, we usually follow up and just make sure that they're the correct ones before we reach out.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Anything else from anyone else before I hop on with Chris personally? Any other? I don't see anyone else in the chat. But
And if you have any further questions, you have Melanie's contact, and this video also, or this recording will also be available on Rossier Career Network for viewing, and I will be sending out the link to all of the participants. Great.
Well, thank you. Thank you guys in the chat for saying thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Please follow up. Would love to talk to you guys more. Great.
I guess we'll just wrap up here. Thank you very much, Melanie, for your participation and the information.
Yes, thank you so much. And I'll stay on and Chris can stay on, but you could probably take us off record if that's okay.
I just did.
Okay, sweet.
I just stopped the recording. Okay.
Awesome. And then Chris, are you there?
So it's Michael, but.
Oh, Michael. Oh my gosh, I can't.
No problem, no problem.
It's Friday. I'm losing my mind,
No,
Michael.
I'm feeling the same.
It's-
But oh,